Good evening, YouTube. RepoMan64. Um, Last night I watched The Sword of God and got on Discord with Charles and a bunch of the other followers and had a blast. It was fun. Um, During the discussion, we were talking about salvation and at what point does God was salvation available before Jesus? And I don't think it was. However, we do have Elijah going into heaven. We have Moses being taken by God. So, do we know exactly for sure? I'm not sure. But I do know this, and this is what the Bible teaches. And that's why we're here, learning about the Bible. So, see if I can track this properly. In Matthew 27:50, it says, Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. Remember, they didn't kill Jesus. He gave up the ghost. He was always in control. Jesus was not caught off guard by any of this. This is exactly what he wanted to do. And for some reason, for me and you, why, I don't know. I'm just as bad as everybody else. Why he did this for us, I don't know. But he did. And it was, I mean, think about it. We kind of, got on my knees and I prayed and this and that, but you don't realize the suffering that had to happen to pay for your sins when you got on your knees. We all think about, let's get saved, and it's true, we need to get saved. We need to pray to God to come into our hearts and change our lives, but think of the immense price that was paid for that to happen. It was no little thing. You live in a society right now, you might get away with some stuff, but you don't get away with everything, and there's always a penalty to pay for your crime. You know when you're doing it, and you know it's wrong. And the fear you have of not doing a crime, sometimes it's because you don't want to go to jail. If you're a Christian, it's because you don't want to disappoint your God, your Father. You don't want to lay any more on Jesus than we already have. But that's exactly what happens when we accept him. We lay that all on him. And he took it all on, past, present, and future. Once you're saved, I believe you are always saved. The questions that I see coming up now are, there's an argument between once you're saved and or are you always saved, and can you lose your salvation? And I would suggest that you go back to the Sword of God and Ministry Revealed and Charles over there and figure out what group of people is he talking to when they say that. Just like what group of people are we talking to when we talk about the bride going to the third heaven, the Luke group that I call it, the Mark group that goes through tribulation and their robes are made white, the first group. Third heaven gets a brilliant white robe, and the second group gets a washed white robe, and then the third group stays here and waits for the holy city to come back. And the second group goes into paradise, and that's exactly where I'm going with this today. When Jesus gave up the ghost, he told the thief on the cross, today you will be with me in paradise. All right? I'm not quite as technologically advanced as everybody else is here, but I am going to try. I tried to get this all set up before I got on here. Let's see here. Where does it say that? Oops. Oh, okay. So in Luke 23:43, I'm closing the tabs as I go. Have you seen Charles when he's on the Ministry Revealed? He's got like 900 tabs open across the top, and he seems to be able to go to them and find where he's going. So sorry for the way I am, but I guess I'm getting old. At any rate, Luke 23:43. We're going to look at 43. And Jesus said unto him, he's talking to the thief next to him. One of them reviled him. That is the Matthew group. They don't want anything to do with Jesus. They're going to stay here and watch the holy city come back. The other one says, remember me. The guy has no works, no fruit, no proof of salvation except that he says that. And Jesus said, verily I say unto you, or unto thee, today you shall be with me in paradise. Now, Jesus didn't lie, right? He says it right there in the Word of God that they went to paradise. But where's paradise at this point? And that's what I want to talk about. Paradise, at this point, the Mark group. The Mark group is going to go to paradise. Guess where paradise is now? Paradise is in heaven. It's not in the third heaven, but it's in heaven. And do you know how it got there? That's where Jesus went. Now, they say he went to hell. No. When he said on the cross, it is finished, it was finished. There was nothing more to do. But he went to paradise, which at that moment was located in Hades. It's not in hell. So hell also is it's a misinterpretation. It's the correct word. Hell and Hades are intertwined words. And what they mean is it's a holding place, basically. It's not until you do good works down there or something. They were waiting down there. These are bad people. And Jesus went down there for 3 days and ministered to them. And I can prove that. So let's close out that tab. One of the proofs that I have is in Revelations 20:14 and 15. It says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So the lake of fire is the end. That's it. Hell or Hades is not, well, it is not the end before Jesus went there. When Jesus went there, the Bible records, and let me find that, that while he was there, let's see here, Acts 2:31, in seeing this before, he spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell. He says it right there, but it's so, I mean, the words are correct. I think it's Hades more than hell, and I think it's paradise. I think the three words intertwine, because hell's still there. When you die and you are not saved and you are not going to go to heaven, you're going to a place called hell or Hades. But paradise was removed from there. And the reason I know that is because he told the thief on the cross, today you'll be with me in paradise. And he told God, you will not leave my soul in hell. So, are we confused? No. Paradise, hell, Hades, we're all down there. None of them are in the lake of fire. Jesus did not suffer while he was there. On the cross, he said it was finished, and it was finished. When he went there to minister to those that would listen. Just like here, he ministers to us, he talks to us, and do we respond? The thief on the cross, he responded. He went to paradise. Might have been a little bit freaky for him. He went to Hades with Jesus for 3 days going, what did I just do? But at the end of the 3 days, when Jesus came up on Sunday morning, paradise, I believe, went to heaven. And Jesus, I believe, showed himself to several people, and I think he went to heaven that same day as well and came back 7 days later, because the Bible records that he met with the 11 in the upper room on the 8th day. And that's a discussion I had before. Let's see here. Acts. We will not see corruption. I'm still trying to find another verse for you. I definitely don't have the organizational skills here that Charles has, not by a long shot. So on 1 Peter 3:19, I'm getting there. I'm a little slow, but I get there. And that's all that matters. I'm not first place, but I'm still in the race. Um, 1 Peter 3:19, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison. You see that? He's in hell, Hades, paradise. He's down there, and these people are in prison. They are prisoners. They're all guilty. They're in prison. They're guilty for their sins. And guess what? Jesus redeemed them, which sometimes were disobedient. They were bad. When once the long suffering of God saves us, no matter, even if you're just a horrible, just it's such good news. I mean, really, just look at this. It's such good news. You look at yourself and you say, "Oh, but I did this and I did that and I did this." Are you questioning whether or not the blood of Christ is powerful enough to save you? That's not even a think about that for a second. That's not even a real thing. The blood of Christ, of course, He can save you. Don't be so prideful. Go to your quiet place by yourself. Get on your knees. Open your heart. Pray to God. Ask Him to come in. A broken and contrite heart, God will not refuse. I mean, it's written, all this stuff is written in there for you. It's there for you, The long suffering of God waited in the days of Noah while the ark was being prepared. He just waited to save those 8 people, which those 8 people are a representation of what He's going to do here at the end. And He saved the 8 souls. So let me close that tab and see what this last tab is about. I think I already read this. Okay, so I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to say thank you to Charles. We literally stood here on Discord for 2 hours last night, and they were literally interested in my little can we know thing. Can we know the date of the end of the world? And these are the verses that I found, and I posted them on Discord. You guys really need to get on Discord. It's so cool. We were on there literally for 2 hours, and everybody, I probably overtalked everybody because I kind of do that, but everybody got a chance to talk. We discussed how we all have different gifts. Mine certainly is not organizational skills and putting together a good communique, for sure. But my heart's in the right place, and I do believe, and I think that maybe that could be displayed or translated through what I say. My greatest desire is the desire that God gave me, not that I gave myself, is that you will go to a quiet place and kneel down and pray for God to save you from all the wicked things you've done. You deserve hell. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's a fact. You deserve to go to hell for what you've done. But there's an intercessor. His name is Jesus Christ, and He came here, and nobody can prove. Let me turn that down. Oh, that's much better. And nobody can prove that He didn't. There's not even an argument with even Satan worshipers that Jesus came here. They're just arguing who He was, but they can't prove that he came here. I mean, that's not even a concept. So, I pray that we that you all kneel down and just accept Jesus and know that hopefully I gave you a little piece of information that's awesome. You're like, whoa, I didn't know that, So, and maybe Charles will get a hold of it and look into it and say, wow, I didn't know that. Imagine that. So, all right, I'm going to go back and Ministry Revealed just put up a video. I watched about 15 minutes of it, and I'm going to go back and finish. It's only 2 hours long, so I'm going to go back and finish watching that because that's just where my heart is. It's what I want. And Ministry Revealed says he believes it's figured out that it's going to be April the 4th. And that's exactly the date that Jesus rose on Sunday. And Sunday is our day. Sunday is a Christian day. It is not a Jewish day. It's our day. That's the day Jesus rose. They came to find the tomb empty. That's the day after He spent the 3 days in hell, or in Hades, or in paradise, whatever you want to call it. And it's fun. I'll talk with you later. If you like anything I say, I don't know, like, share, subscribe. And we'll chat with you later. RepoMan64.